Hello everyone and welcome to my All Soaps Update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Bill promised Will and Katie that the custody case would be straightforward today on The Bold and the Beautiful, and Steffi pledged that Luna would never pass go or get $200 since she would spend the rest of her wretched life in prison. As the show started, we saw Steffi again reminding Luna that her child is a child and not a means of escape. Luna responded by accusing Steffi of being self-centered for believing she remained a threat and asserting that after she was liberated, her stepmother would be the last person on her mind. Furthermore, she was still certain that Bill and Katie would not allow their grandson to be delivered in prison. "Do you believe that you know Bill?" "You don't," Steffi told Luna, adding that the baby had only turned her into a predator and not a Spencer. Steffi did not, however, go so far as to refer to what Luna did to Will as rape. How come this show will readily acknowledge that she is a murderer but not a rapist? Will worried at the Spencer estate that Elektra was being asked to do too much in the Luna scenario. However, Bill reassured him that the Luna situation would end after 9 months, at which time she would not communicate with Will or the child at all. The businessman went on to say that he had been speaking with an attorney and was certain that the custody dispute will be resolved. Could he have further jinxed himself with those words? How enticing fate is. Will and Katie reviewed everything that had transpired to ruin Bill's relationship with Elektra after he left. Katie somehow used the pretzel reasoning to forgive her ex-husband for falling for Luna's scam. "He feels really bad," Katie said. "He won't allow her to brainwash him once more. Is it foreshadowing?" Luna was shocked to see that she had yet another visitor after Steffi left the prison. "Bill. Is it only you?" she inquired. Yes, she truly believed Will would have visited her, which is why she is so delulu. Though Bill, who sounded like the dollar bill of old, sternly clarified that Luna and his family had no relationship because of her pregnancy. He went on to say that he was actually planning to remove it from her as soon as the baby was born. He grumbled and said, "The biggest mistake of my life was seeing any glimmer of redemption in you. I ought to have let you rot in here. It is rare, but when he is correct, he is correct." Nor was Bill finished yet. He would now use the same power he had used to secure Luna's release to make sure she never stopped pressing license plates. What did she say? The aforementioned sad face emoji in Luna form. When Ridge and Taylor stormed into the Cliff home in search of Steffi, Finn informed them that their daughter had gone straight to jail to face Luna. As they waited for Steffi to get home, her parents and husband talked about how she had responded to the news of Luna and how understanding she had been that no one had told her about the shock she would be experiencing upon returning home. When Steffi returned, she was remarkably indifferent to the news that her father had divorced her mother while she was away and had immediately remarried Brooke. That is, initially. Steffi did voice her disappointment shortly after, but she did so in far kinder terms than we could have hoped or anticipated. "Dad gets away with a lot of bleep." Steffi reiterated at the end of the program that her spouse is attractive, and he said he had missed her a lot. "Now that you're back, that's all that matters," he added, grinning. Regarding Luna, "She's in prison and she won't hurt you ever again." Famous last words. Bill assured Katie and Will that that vile creature hadn't affected him when he returned home to his mansion. He even laughed that Luna had believed that calling her a grandchild would be as effective as writing "Open Sesame" on the doors of her detention cell. At last, Luna's prison companion laughed that her sugar daddy hadn't come to her aid this time. Luna said, "I need you to do it again," which translates to "beat her up." Luna hurried to add, "Just not the stomach." Her cellmate was more than willing to comply. Night descended over Los Angeles like a heavy blanket, but the city was far from quiet. Behind the glowing lights and luxury, storm clouds were gathering, not in the sky, but in the hearts of the people who once believed they'd finally found peace. At the Cliff House, Finn tucked Kelly and Hayes into bed, trying to focus on the warmth of family life rather than the shadows of the past. Yet every time he looked at Steffi, he saw the same unease mirrored in her eyes. the silent fear that Luna's story wasn't finished. Steffi sat curled on the couch, scrolling through messages from Forrester Creations about upcoming showings, but her mind wasn't on fashion. "You know what the worst part is," she said quietly as Finn joined her. "Even locked up, Luna still has power over all of us. We're still talking about her, worrying about her." Finn sat beside her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "That's what people like her want," he murmured. "They feed on fear. But you can't let her take any more space in your head, Steffi. You're home now. You're safe. The kids are safe." But Steffi wasn't convinced. "Safe?" she repeated, her voice cracking slightly. Was Sheila supposed to be gone forever too? Wasn't she supposed to be handled? Look how that turned out. The name hung in the air like poison. Finn's jaw tightened. Sheila's dead, Steffi. For good this time. Steffi didn't respond, she didn't need to. The haunted look in her eyes said she didn't believe in for good anymore. Meanwhile, across town at the Spencer mansion, Bill poured himself a stiff drink, the amber liquid swirling like molten fire in his glass. Katie watched him from across the room, her expression a blend of concern and disbelief. "You can't keep doing this," she said softly. "You're trying to drown something that won't sink." Bill gave a bitter laugh. "You think I'm drowning? No, Katie. I'm making sure no one else does. Not Will. Not that baby. Not anyone who gets caught in Luna's web again." Katie shook her head. "You sound just like the old Bill. Ruthless. Ready to burn the world down." "Maybe the old Bill was the smart one," he shot back. "The new one. The one who tried to have faith in people, who thought redemption was real. He almost destroyed us all." Katie approached him, lowering her voice. "You made a mistake. That doesn't mean you destroy someone else's life. That baby is innocent." Bill's eyes flickered with emotion, a moment of vulnerability before the mask slid back on. "That baby will have every chance in the world. Just not with her as a mother." At the same moment in her cell, Luna lay bruised and motionless on the cold floor, her breathing shallow. Her cellmate, Roxanne, stood over her, panting, her fists still trembling. "You told me to hit you," she muttered. "But you didn't say how hard." Luna stirred weakly, blood smudged across her lip. "Good," she rasped. "Now it'll look real." Roxanne frowned. "What the hell are you talking about?" Luna smiled through her pain, a chilling gleam in her eyes. "You'll see. You're about to make me very free." Minutes later, guards rushed in as Luna convulsed, clutching her stomach, screaming for help. "She's bleeding," Roxanne shouted, her voice full